Hello YouTube, Ronan Kazi. Finishing up on The Division. A long time ago, when I started this channel, I restarted a character on The Division, and you're starting to see the culmination of that. I'm doing Russian Consulate, which was, in my opinion, one of the tougher missions to do, especially on challenging or legendary. I forget or not if they had legendary, but it was tough. And with my very old crew, I used to run with it. I want to talk to you today about goals. And this is one of the things that sometimes your goals are too hard, sometimes they're too easy. And it's one of the things that really leads to your quality of life on how you set these goals. If the goals are too easy, you live a life that's always less than. When you finish, you're left wanting more. You accomplish the goals, you never have any hard stuff, but you don't really accomplish as much as maybe other people. Sometimes people set goals that are substandard because they're, maybe they've had a string of failures and they want to have some success. Maybe they are scared to succeed. There are some people that are scared of success for a lot of different reasons. Maybe people set too low of goals because they just don't believe in themselves. There's a lot of reasons. Conversely, you can set goals that are too hard. I want to dunk and I'm over 55, and it doesn't even matter what color I am, I'm over 55. If by some miracle I could get up to dunk, I'd have to land. And the thought of me landing on my old tired knees makes me cringe. So that's a goal that's not worthwhile. A goal for me to do intellectually, for me to, let's say, read a book like Gödel, Escher, Bach, which is a book from the 80s that I had in college that was very hard to read. I don't think I ever read the whole thing. We had a class on it, honors class, and all whoop-de-doo, but it was a very, very tough book, very dense. And when I mean dense, what I mean, when a book is dense, you read a sentence and you have to reread it and reread it and reread it to understand it. Doesn't seem kind of fun. I wish I could say I read all of it. Man, that'd be a feather in my cap. But a lot of people, a book so hard, a lot of people wouldn't even believe me. And speaking on books, there's a book called Black Swan. That's a book I have read. And that is a tough read, but it's not too tough. The writer, Nicholas Taleb, I think his name. I could look it up. I'll probably try to leave a link in the description. That writer, the book is written such a way that it kind of opens it up. And by the time you're in the middle and you're sinking and drowning, you're already far enough in the book that you're not going to give up. It's a fantastic book. Whenever I used to travel for business, I would pick up the book and start reading it, and I would keep places as I read it further and further. You should be playing The Division. If you have not played The Division, you should play The Division. Everything about The Division is superior. It's an older game. And when I think about the comparisons to Division 2, all of the comparisons about the Division 2, would be if you played The Division and you complained a lot, the Division 2 is what you get. A little bit softer, a little bit easier. This game, I was constantly, before I got to this higher level, I was constantly sweating ammo. I never ran out of ammo, but it was always a thing. You always get the feeling of survival, even in the main game. And I think I've shown you some gameplay before of challenging Subway. It's just tough as shit. And some of the things that, when I would set my electronics and things, just are a little bit better now than they used to be. placing turrets. Picking a turret up instead of just destroying it and getting a new one is kind of nicer. But it made the game just a little tougher. So when you're thinking about goals, you want to set goals that are right size, that you get a little bit of growth. I was running with Sloth the other night, and we're doing a legendary Nightfall, and it was just two of us, and we were having a slow go at it. And I said to him, he probably thought it, but he was waiting for me to say it, and we got out of it. We weren't going to complete it. We might get to the end boss, but we might not complete it. Does that mean every time we run through legendary content, we don't die or we don't have to go over? No, I think I show you a lot of videos where we might wipe at some point and then we get up and finish. The problem is if you keep wiping and just no way, you know if you don't have the horsepower. And so when you're setting a goal, please like, subscribe, share, hit the notifications. When you're setting a goal, it has to be realistic. You can't say, I want to do a master 1840 level content when I'm only 1815. I can barely do legendary. Now I'm going to do master. No, that's not realistic. If you're in athletics, there's just some things you're not going to accomplish unless you give over thousands and thousands of hours till you get good at it. You can get pretty good at almost anything within your physical gifts, within your mental gifts. I might not be any good at, maybe calculus or something like that. I have no interest in it. I'm not wired that way for calculus. So if I made a goal for myself to learn calculus, I could apply 80% of my intellect to understand it 20%. I would have to try really hard just to get a little bit of understanding. It's something I don't need. It's superfluous. I'm the same way with foreign languages. I can pick up some of them naturally if I hear them a lot, but it's just something I'm not going to learn a lot at. One of my strengths is memory, so I focus on things. If you think about this game we're playing right now, this is one of the joys of playing this game. It's stimulating lost memories. I remember here on Challenging, we'd get stuck at that platform right there. We would sit there and cower up on that platform because we'd get pushed so hard. And so this is a maze, and I, like a rat in a maze, I'm following the maze. I'm remembering what happened here, and I'm going to those spots. I know someone's going to come over here, and I'm going to kill them, hopefully. Hopefully I don't die. That'd be embarrassing right about now. So you have to tailor your goals to your attributes, the skills you have. What if you really want to stretch yourself, give yourself a stretch goal? Then you can do that. But again, it has to be in reality. You can't say, I'm going to run. Again, I'm over 55. Am I going to run a 4-minute mile? Probably not. Could I run a 4-minute mile? I could see if there's other 55-year-olds that did it, and then I could dedicate the rest of my life to doing that, and I probably could do it. But I would have to give up everything to achieve that goal. And so that's what we're talking about. And then eventually you're just not going to be able to physically do all the things that you want to do. Mentally, you might not be able to do all the things that you want to do. And some of that comes down to your physical well-being. So I want you to think about that. Your physical, whether you want to agree with this or not. Sometimes people are born with defects. They physically can't do things. If people do not have maybe the cognitive function, and I don't know what those are. Doing a lot of research or studying about IQ and that kind of stuff. There's certain parts of IQ you can go like on a Lex Friedman podcast. He'll talk to a guy that's telling you about IQ. Well, that charger's gonna, he's gonna get less than right there with the little turret action. But there are some hard caps for some of that stuff. And if you can have physical hard caps, part of your brain power is the hardware, how you process things. Now, I don't know anything about the brain, but I know I could learn about the brain, and I can come back and give you a video and explain to you what the latest studies say about the brains. I'm going to be fighting Hornet, who thought he could take me on. He called up Keener, hey boss, let me take him out. And this is kind of we found out now in the storyline that there's first wave and second wave. I'm a second wave. And this is the time that we show the first wavers that maybe we're just as good as you. So today's a little bit about goals. I'm sure I'll be touching that more. You can see how that would play into how you frame success, how teams work, how you set up yourself for happiness. Goals are really important. I'll tell you a story soon, how I had a goal and then I had to admit defeat. It doesn't make me less than, but you'll say it was probably smart. If you don't have the division and you're looking for something new to do, it's a nice game you can get into, leveling up to 30. I don't know if you want to do end game content, but the story's still really great. People still play Final Fantasy VII and want that remade. Give the division a time. Someone said it was too hard. I don't think it is. This is Ronan Kazi signing off. Thank you, YouTube.